Alright guys, hello and welcome back. It's time for the first game out of Group B. Resist Gaming going to be facing off against Torch in this first game. I'm Zayden, once again, going to be joined by Ranconia, so it's been kind of a round robin as well with some of these casters today.
Yeah, subbing in Hindu Man just gives me more time to deal with all the zombie spiders and vampire kangaroos and...
You definitely need that reprieve to kind of catch your breath in between, battles and smite battles and then spider battles. It's an all-day, all-in process for you guys down there. Don't know how you do it exactly.
Just think about plants versus zombies, right? They come in waves. And I've got to go out there and replan all my plants and make sure that they're all ready to deal with the next wave. And, Hindu Man taking over gives me a break to go and deal with that. Anyway,
Indeed.
Picks and bans. Peas and bees.
We don't do the P's and B's.
We don't do the P's and B's. Damn.
Thing. So, yeah, alas. Apparently, everything is just... There we go! They're finally showing up on screen. I don't know what they were taking their time for. They're up there. There's going to be a Bologna ban, Athena ban as well by Torch. Geb, Sylvanas by Resist Gaming. Torch taking the opportunity to lock in Thor first pick. We didn't see much of him for a while, but he's been back today in a big way. We saw Grishank setting up some stuff earlier a couple games ago. We'll see if on the lower side of things in Group B, if Torch can do the same.
Especially with Cat on the board. I don't know. There's Sylvanas, Athena taken away. Bologna's been taken away. Geb. This is this is NA. So, Ares is on the board. I would actually really expect Chaos to potentially pick up an Ares here, and then immediately from the side of guys on Resist go straight into a Ymir ban, because that would be just some smart play. If you want to get an Ares, that's the way to pick it.
Yep, I apparently forgot to update the Outwash stats, but whatever. He got played last week. He was actually played twice. He won 50% on the win rate, I should say. Not sure how many times he was banned, but that's what it is. I know the stats, just not in the thing. Production, please.
And not available.
It's in my brain. The one thing that up there that is actually remotely correct. 50% win rate in Week 5 play from the Challenger Cup at least, and picked twice, so there you go. There you have it. The pick percentage
is interesting.
Very low.
Him picked up at the position he was picked up in. He knows that he's going to be playing into an Isis, so he's looking to match some lane aggression with some lane aggression. Isis obviously doesn't have any escape as well. She's got Wind Gust for a little bit of bonus movement speed, but it's that anti-healing matchup. But Isis, on that note, has total control over when she pops her healing. So it's not so much... This one's not a counter matchup at all. This is actually very much a skill matchup.
Yeah, I'd say to a fair degree. Outwash, Empty the Crypts, it's kind of like everywhere is having ghosties fly across the place. But at the same time, drop down a Circle Protection kind of mitigates that to a decent degree. They can also look to pick up a Heavenly Agility somewhere in the lineup and actually kind of counter the slow that's going to apply to pretty much their entire team lineup. Other than that, I mean, it's an early game, the wave clear from Outwash. It's a little bit rougher because generally with his 1, you want to get it up to rank 4 when he gets that second ghoul that runs forward. Or zombie, what are they? Zombies, ghouls, whatever they are. He wants to get the second one to drop down an extra corpse so he can use the, corpse bomb and detonate the extra one. I've completely blanked on his abilities now. Fleeting Breath, Empty the Crypt,
Corpse
the thing,
Explosion.
the thing. Corpse Explosion, that's the one I'm looking for, whatever his 1 happens to be. Casters, please. Production, please. Not my fault. Hindu's fault. He's here and he's bantering in chat, as he likes to call it. It's his fault. You can hear us too.
It's actually really interesting to see that Outwash's passive is actually called Hollow Ground. It's not passive you'd expect to be given a name like Hollow Ground. That's really interesting. I like it.
It's an evil hallowed. It's all about your perspective as to how it is exactly hallowed. Nevertheless, you're talking about the Ares. It just got locked on in. Chaos likely going to be picking that one up. So we'll see how exactly that one plays out. Because Ares, if he gets going early on, is going to be an absolute monster, but if he falls behind at all, Ares, if you fall behind as Ares, you're going to have a bad day. There's no other way to put that.
Yeah, but there's no one that really exudes that early pressure as well. There's an early second round of ban, not early, Ymir ban coming through from the side of the guys on Torch, And Odin's taken off the board. Odin, Bird Bomb's also able to put out similar amounts of damage. Shield's also really, really good for blocking. It's locked them out of a lot of supports on the side of Torch. And they've got a Cupid. So they can have the potential to bully out an Ares in the lane phase. But think about the damage that an Apollo and Ares can put out together in that lane. Very, very early on. They can really bully out a Cupid. This is one of those laning matchups from the side of Torch that is either going to go very, very well, or it's going to go very, very bad.
Well, we'll be finding out exactly how this one plays out here in just a minute or two, guys. The game is ready. We're going to jump straight on into this one. It's going to be Torch versus Resist Gaming for the first game out of Group B for the North American Challenger Cup Week 6 round-robin group stages. We'll have this one for you in just a few. Alright, guys, hello and welcome back. Torch facing off against Resist Gaming. I'm Zyd, and Ranconi is joining me here today. Resist Gaming seem to be having a little bit of a party by the mid lane tower. A bit of a back and forth, ring around to Fierno here. Bastet trying to play, and Fierno just like, nope, I'm the badass little Apollo here, just like waving around, just saying hi to everyone, my backpack. Having a good old time as we go off the lane.
Yeah, shooting off some fireworks, showing off that new emote. God, I love the new global emote. It's so cool, so much fun to play around with. And third purchase of the Summer of Smite.
Yep.
I love it. I love it. I'm so keen for my fourth purchase of Summer of Smite. I really want to unlock that pool party pedestal. I think it is.
Yeah, the little pool you can, the little kiddie pool you can kind of sit in. I'm not sure if it's actually beneficial, and if you're Agni, probably not the best thing to be sitting in. The water typically doesn't meld well with the fire, but nevertheless, it's only picks and bans, so you can kind of recoup before you load into the match. That said, let's talk about the game as jungle buffs being picked up right now by their respective teams. Resist Gaming going for the double back Harpy start. Torch picking up the right-hand side only. They'll have that little bit of a fallback here for their jungler when he makes his rotation over there in just a little while. He's going to make the early rotation mid as well, for that matter.
Pluck hand left-hand side, looking for hot bombing towards Valentine. They tagged a minion, so Prodigy Pun was looking to go aggressive and took a lot of poke for it. That's a really, really nice response from Fierno. And Valentine was just like, yo, have a chain to the face, missed a little bit. But they've got a lot of poke down here on towards Prodigy Pun. Now, we were talking about this in the God Select. This is a Cupid matchup, right? Cupid's not all that strong when you get to a mid-game, late-game aspect. CC is all Cupid's got going for it.
To an extent. Late game, the Fields of Love can actually dish out a lot of damage with the crowd control and that as well. Fight, breaking out. The Heart Bomb is connected. It's going to find the stun, but the pressure right now, Resist Gaming are dishing it out to say the least. And, Cupid, part of the benefit coming out from that Share the Love early on, if you can give that pretty much solely to your support, you get mana back from you actually gain mana from the ability overall. But if you happen to use those hearts yourself, it ends up costing you in the mana pool side of things.
Yeah, and when you look at the potion sort of setup, Trueblade's actually gone for a lot of pots in the early form of the game, right? This means he's picked up, Charge Morningstar. He's looking to go in for probably a Transcendence, Heartseeker Star, something along those lines. And Apollo's got Death Toll, Spike Gauntlet. This is not really a lane that Prodigy Pon and Trueblade can look to win. They're relying on the potion sustain to be able to trade effectively.
Yeah, he does still have both potions plus the third mana potion online as well. So he'll have a little bit of breathing room going forward. He's doing okay in lane. They haven't been forced out. And they have some extra, extra health, some extra protections coming up from just level scaling. They'll be in a little bit of a better spot going forward. They still have to be careful, however, because there is still that all-in potential. Level 5 hits, if Resist Gaming are a little bit ahead, I'm not sure where they stand right now. They have no way to avoid that no escape right now, basically.
Yeah, they're in a little bit of trouble. Fields of Love, level 5, that's kind of a nice turnaround. They're able to fight back and forth a little bit more, but like this, look at this. They're literally gonna clear this wave out, and then there'll be one minion from level 5 from the side of Resist Gaming. They have got so much more pressure on towards Torch.
Yep, rotation's coming out from the mid. Harpies right now looks like they're setting up for a 1-for-1 exchange for the time being. They don't want to fight level 5 against that combination coming out from Resist Gaming right now. It's a 4-man grouping as well, which does not end too well for those guys. So they're going to split these 1-for-1, sharing it a little bit around further on the left-hand side. But nevertheless, not really anything gained, anything lost for now. Gold pretty much even, experience still pretty much even as well. Both these teams kind of playing it slower and kind of just feeling each other out for the time being.
But what this does set up from the side of Resist Gaming is the fact that Valentine's now level 5. Prodigy Pon's behind. He's not level 5. The XP that was split on towards those right-hand side camps was split between mid laner and jungler. I think Crazy Toaster might have actually soaked up a little bit there as well. But, Prodigy Pon got nothing. He got absolutely nothing. So he's now going to be behind on levels. Yeah, he's still not 5. He's done back camps now with Thor and still not level 5.
A couple minutes behind that one. I was about to say he's about to hit 5 off those back harpies. That was not the case, and not getting off that mid lane experience as well for that wave. So yeah, a little bit of an experience deficit coming out for these guys. So they have to watch out for that one.
Valentine is exactly a full level ahead of him too.
Yeah, that's going to be rough. Ares, you don't want to be getting ahead, and he's certainly not really, I don't want to say ahead quite yet, but definitely not behind at this point in time. He's right where he should be. Left side gang coming down. Fierno will end up dropping for first blood on the left-hand side with the help of Scream and Trueblade. So, yeah, it's first blood. It's a nice little chunk of gold going away to Torch. Not the end of the world, however. It's still early.
The chain stuns that they can actually get off with this combo is really, really strong. Grishank, sorry, not Grishank, Scream, if he lands down and lands that Anvil of Dawn and it does hit over on towards Fierno, he's dead. He's dead in the water. He's going to get tagged with a Heart Bomb. He's going to get a Fields of Love on top of it. He's going nowhere. He's got no way of escaping that. He's just going to take a whole bunch of damage. So, at least, you know, that's the advantage that they're going to have to look for. But Apollo, late game, look at that Audacity Steroid. Fantastic. Mesmerize that gives you physical resistances. Whoa.
I'm a fan of the Fields of Love, personally. It is a lot of damage in the AoE situation. The problem is people can just run away from it. You get out of it, you don't take that damage. At worst, it's an interrupt. It can potentially be a stun as well. So, I mean, it's not bad. If you're not taking any damage, you're kind of on the tail end of the Fields of Love, you may be sitting there longer in that mez as well. It's a useful ability. The problem is actually confirming that damage and crowd control off of it, which can make it a bit of an issue as the game, you know, especially late game when there's stuff being thrown around, the fights get kind of messy and scattered. Compared to the Apollo, like you said, the Audacity is kind of, you're looking to in-hand people. Assuming you're hitting those attacks, that increased attack speed is going to benefit you pretty much, you know, when you want it to. Across the skies, when you need to get across the map, when you need to escape a fight, it's always there at your disposal. The enemy can't necessarily, like, say, okay, I'm just going to move 2 feet to the left, and you're not hitting me anymore with that damage from the Fields of Love.
Yeah. Dream as well, he's starting to rotate around and put a fair bit of pressure on this map. He was hovering towards this right-hand side right now. He actually had the ultimate just about to come back online, so he's got that one back up, and he already got a kill with that first ultimate. Thor, obviously, you know, he's a bit more of an early game bully, a lot easier able to apply pressure, get around wards, and gank effectively in that early to mid game. Got his second ultimate up. He made his first one count. They got first blood off the back of it, and it's time for mid Harpy camps. Left-hand side. Resist Gaming are either rotating for that, or they want this Gold Fury.
Yeah, they could possibly look for a bait as well. Level difference coming on the mid lane. Keeper of the Rise has been pushed back to his tower multiple times, so I'm have to run around that jungle quickly to get back there safely. It basically comes down, look at the way his bills are ranked up right now. All the points in the one because you want that second corpse. As soon as you get to that point, you can start putting abilities in the corpse explosion and start getting the damage online. But it's rough because the wave clear isn't quite there early game. Team fight-wise, the Empty the Crypts can be absolutely devastating because it's just a large area that's affected by it. At the same time, Outwash is very, very immobile. If he's not spot on with his positioning, he could very quickly be punished for it.
Yeah, that's worrying, especially like when you're into an Ares. Look at Ballantyne. He knows how vulnerable here the Keeper of the Rice is going to be, and he's putting a lot of focus and a lot of pressure. He's just like, right, Fierno, you'll be fine on that left-hand side. Speaking of left-hand side, Heart Bomb did land in Fields of Love as well. Fierno is so low, but he will manage to get the 1v1. He outwins that boxing match, and this is the guy that's on Apollo.
They're trying to bait the Gold Fury right here. They're on a ward. We have the luxury to see that. They do not. They may now suspect that they knew they were sitting out there waiting for the bait. They're gonna chill mid lane. They could definitely look to be forcing that Gold Fury right now. If nothing else, look for a fight, but Fierno went back to base. They're gonna look for the minion damage, push the way at the tower, keep Keeper of the Rise on the back foot as much as possible. And the biggest factor, probably, they basically just don't have that Wrath of the Gods. That's when you can comfortably look for that Gold Fury fight, because before that, when you're up against a Sobek, you don't want him coming in with Lurking in the Waters. You can't stop him. He pops up, does a lot of damage, and then goes ahead and just hands the gods at his own. You know, he's in control of it because he has that Lurking in the Waters to the big chunk of damage.
Yeah, but on the backside, so long as Ares gets that chain off in the AoE, the first cast of it, he's going to get 2 procs of damage, right? He's going to drop the ultimate, and he's going to proc. He may not grab you, but at least he's going to get a proc. Sorry, he gets the second proc. There is no first proc. I don't know why I thought there was a first proc. It's probably because Ares has thrown a bunch of chains at me a bunch of times. It's like, damage.
Yeah.
Can I tell you how much I hate Ares? I really hate it.
He's one of those gods.
Really hate it.
He's one of those gods. I have my nightmares about him amongst other ones. Thor is up in the air. Keeper of the Rise is about to meet his maker here. If Thor comes on down to the defensive. Thor's on the other team. Excuse me. He's going to go aggressively instead. See if they can secure kill this one now that the Empty the Crypts does come out. Bastet leaps in the middle. This one leaps back out. Chaos finds that kill on the screen. The pull finds Keeper of the Rise. Pulls him back in. But who dat? Is looking to group up. Prodigy is okay. He's probably going to be able to escape this one. Valentine's looking for that kill to outwash.
Oh.
Not quite able to get that searing flesh off and find the kill.
That dot damage, though, was ticking down on towards Hudat. He was like 1, maybe 2 more procs away. 1 in an in-hand would have definitely killed him. Keeper of the Rice is being forced to stay. This is a lot of pressure being applied to that mid lane. What were we talking about? Keeper of the Rice is huge towards this composition. Torch, they need him. Valentine, look at the focus he is putting down. Look at the emphasis on the mid lane. And the important part off the back of that is they got no kills given over towards Keeper of the Rice.
Yeah, that's a big deal. If he gets fed and online early in the game, Outwash can just be an absolute monster. They're keeping him at bay, however. Bulcher, Ice. People. Chaos. I'm stuck on the old other games too. You did it before with Grishank. I just did it with Bulcher. We're in Group B now, casters. Please. Chaos.
Hey,
with that ISIS.
High five are pretty noticeable, man.
They are. I don't know. Nevertheless, this is Resist Gaming and Torch. Not High Five. They're not here. They're in Group A. We did that before. We're moving on. We moved on.
Okay,
we personally have not moved on. We're supposed to have moved on. But nevertheless, Chaos with that Isis getting built up, looking for that. Could be a Pythagorean's piece. They do have that Ares, would actually synergize quite well in that. Bancroft's Talon as well, a lot of health, a lot of magical power, a lot of magical lifesteal for some, healing that gives, magical lifesteal gives health, so I was on the right track. Double tap connects some damage mid lane, but a bit of a lull once again. Mid Harpies were just brought down. I wouldn't mind seeing like I said, at Gold Fury, I'm surprised that Resist Gaming didn't look for it when no one took that bait. If nothing else, they could have forced the fight on it, but they didn't really capitalize on the way the map was at that point in time. So a bit of a lull while we just wait for something to come up for these guys to take. It's back and forth farm. We could potentially see there's the Fields of Love drop down left-hand side. Trueblade once again on the losing end of that fight. Fearno not quite going to find a kill, but force him back nevertheless.
And that's just straight out and out down to sustain. Fearno's got the Devo Gauntlets. He's up to 71 stacks. He's the bigger hunter. Transcendence, yeah, sure, it's online, and it gives a lot of power in that late game as well. But in this early game, it's all about that sustain. Fight's gonna break out.
Torch got that seal. That's why you gotta watch out for that lurking in the waters. He's low on health. The pull will come on in, but the empty the crypts is doing work. Trueblade comes in and finds the kill on that one. It is 1 for 2 so far in a death count, plus the Gold Fury going the way of Torch. They played that one very well, and that's why you cannot let the likes of Guardians of Amir and Sobek with those big damaging ultimate abilities get near an objective you're trying to take, because they're in control. They have that burst of damage to bring below the threshold at their discretion. And in that case, Prodigy stole the Gold Fury away from Resist Gaming because of it.
Something we actually haven't talked about on this right-hand side of the game map is, the pressure coming down from both of these laners. Tyr, very, steady laner. He's going to do good in absolutely every scenario. Doesn't have a lot of bad matchups. He's going to sustain through. He'll be totally fine. Vamana, on the other hand, late game carry. He's not so much what we expect of an early lane pressure. What's the name? And Crazy Toaster's paid full credit to him. He's made most of the advantage. He's taken first tower. Yeah.
Vamana actually going for a bit more of an offensive build. He has that Heartseeker. We'll see how that works out, as the big baby was just forced by him right now. That's really like kill potential. It's basically just to keep him alive and below that kind of lethal threshold where Crazy Toaster can just find the kill. He's gonna look for the kill instead. Crazy Toaster power clear will get some health back, but it's a bit of a back and forth slap fight. Mid lane, possible fight breaking as well. Prodigy just charge prayed forward onto somebody as the fight breaks out.
Yeah, they're looking for Scream. Down comes that. No escape. What can they find? There's at least beads online. Scream is living a little bit while longer. Empty the crypts though. Hudat's in a world of trouble. Locking in the waters. He's so low. And finally that last in-hand to come through from Keeper of the Rise. He's got one for himself, and that's going to be huge coming towards this mid game. But Apollo and Cupid are both rotating here. Teleport to come through from Tyr.
Fields of Love rather dropped on down, lowering over the wall, trying to find that kill. Fearno going up across the skies will barely make it out in time as Prodigy charge prays under the tower, trying to lock down somebody for a kill setup, but not able to find it. Keeper of the Rice plus Prodigy just about out of mana. They're gonna have to look to. They really can't look to fight this one right now, given where the mana bars are. The war's up in the air. They're gonna look for it anyway.
Gonna be focused down if you can find that two-man stun. He did. Chaos is in a world of trouble. At least he's got circle protection. Such a big burst to heal. He's finding Scream with that one as well. Finally gets blocked out, so at least it's gonna be a trade. Keeper of the Rice is gonna find himself another kill, but Prodigy Plon is low.
Yep, one more Armored Umbrella hit from Marauder finds that kill. Looking for number 2, found Keeper of the Rice as well. They just bit off more than they can chew. No mana bars means you probably shouldn't be looking for that fight, as they have an inch back. Truebait finds Bellantine, but Crazy Toaster falls as well. Torch just too big of a play given the state of the mana bars before that fight commenced.
Yeah, and because there is absolutely no Gold Fury to fight over, they're going to go for this mid-tower. Hop bomb did tick. Hudat has tagged up that Cupid. He's one more shot from that tower from death, but Marauder's going to go deep looking for him. Trueblade's going to live.
Yeah, Trueblade will survive, but it was in the end 4 kills for 2, I believe, plus that tower getting brought down the mid lane. So Resist Gaming found a victory they very much need to kind of keep things stabilized as much as possible. Taking a peek over that golden experience graph. Torch had his first small lead in the back of that Gold Fury fight, but since then, Resist Gaming kind of put a damper on their plans to kind of gain control of this match.
Yeah, they've got to kind of be a little bit careful of overextending from the side of Torch. Yeah, they've got Empty the Crypts. Yeah, they've got Lurking in the Waters. Yeah, they've got Fields of Love. But look where they were used. Lurking in the Water and... I believe it was Lurking in the Water, yeah. Lurking in the Water and the Fields of Love. No, sorry, it was Lawbringer. Both used looking for the Apollo, right? They didn't get him.
Yeah.
He got out. At that point, they should have just run away and not continued to fight. That was not a fight that they could, continue to brawl with.
Yeah, I mean, if their mana bars were actually... If they had mana in that fight, that could have gone entirely different, but Keeper the Rice had basically no effect. He had one combo, 2 abilities, and I have nothing but in-hands left to use. Prodigy, same position. I have 2 abilities, and I can't actually do anything else, but I have no mana to do it. Even with the Lurking in the Waters, his mana bar was just dry in that fight. And that's what ended up costing them the overall victory in the fight on the back with the tier 1 tower. Right side, the slap fight's on once again. They're trying to find these kills. Marauder going to use the clear the path on out. Lawbringer, though, comes on out. He has that Fearless to connect with. He's going to force the big baby to come on out of this one as Hudat finds the kill left side.
And they're not quite done here. Fearno is trying to help out his buddy. Hudat's going to get plucked, and Prodigy Pun's looking for whatever he can. Thor slams down, at least going to confirm Hudat, but what can they find off the back of this? Thin hands coming through from Fearno. They've got some silences out. They're going to look to continue this fight.
Yeah, they're able to bring that Prodigy Pun, answering back 1-for-1 over there. Right-hand side, that fight was kind of a it didn't go anywhere. They're still actually fighting. That's what we expected of Warriors in the Soul Lane. The non-stop, never-ending back-and-forth noodle fight over there. I'm expecting to see some rotations coming out from Marauder going forward in this matchup. Teleport was picked up by Tier. Marauder has the option of not having to pick it up quite yet. You want that... It's a teleport, you pick it up, you kind of force your opponent in lane to do the exact same thing. But the way the towers are right now, he doesn't need to immediately because he doesn't have to worry about minions. He can look to pull back out. Scream, caught by the no escape. He's not getting out of that one alive as Valentine picked it up with the dot damage off the shackles.
Yeah, and throwing over towards those solo inners as well. Marauder doesn't have to go for that. We can just see him pick up a tier 3 sprint if he wants. They could... I mean, they've got an Isis, healing damage for Fearno can come out if they do opt to go for a Heavenly Agility somewhere, but True Blade, he's burned the ultimate.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Watching the fight over we see the tail end of the escape coming out for Fearno, barely able to get out of that left-hand fight. Apparently losing my voice again, I apologize for that. Gold Fury is back up as Boxcat has dropped down and clear that ward out, and the Gold Fury is pulled. Valentine is here. He doesn't have that kind of kill control like the Sobek will. They're gonna actually force the reset in this one. They don't want to risk it. Ultimates are down. They could ultimates are down basically across the board, 2 per team. So I mean, it's a bit of a slower game again. A pick or 2, if they can find it, could set up a Gold Fury, however.
Yeah, Gold Fury, big gold swing. They're actually looking in the mid lane. Valentine's going forward, looking for those chains. They've found it. Crazy Toast is going to be the focused pick. It's no support, but it will be enough to potentially start up and secure a Gold Fury.
Yeah, see True Blade kind of waiting around the backside of this one, looking to go in for that steal. I believe he caught vision of Fear now making his way through that lane. And if nothing else, they just saw him killing those minions, so... Not able to really make use of that pick so far. Marauder had to go back to base as well. Mid Harpies on the right hand side are up. It looks like Hudat's going to clean those up for himself. I mean, the Gold Fury is going to be the next objective these teams are looking for. Almost be like a full-on D-side and they rush for that Fire Giant. But right now, Resist Gaming can kind of look to bait this fight out. They have their ultimates coming up here in just a moment. Force the fight while people are scattered across the map. You have immobile gods like Keeper of the Rice, and Altier just went back to base. He has that teleport, so they have to keep that in mind. But here's that Gold Fury started up. They're going to be aware of this. They have full vision of it right now as they're watching it happen, but they're going to go ahead and let that one reset again.
Well, let's actually take a look over those solo lanes. You mentioned it, the teleport just coming in online for Tier. I mean, how important was this last fight? Never mind, Valentine's going to go into the blink and look for the no escape on towards Prodigy Pump, but that's his ultimate down, and that's a huge amount of burst control over this Gold Fury. Resist, secure it. Cupid Rice was looking for it, not able to get in.
You can't find a pick? Find the one thing that will pretty much ensure a steal for the enemy team. Get that off the table. Yeah, use no escape. Yeah, it's a powerful team fight objective, and a powerful team fight ultimate, I should say. But if I burn that and get a Gold Fury because of it, I'll take that. Why not? So Torch finds themselves, Resist Gaming find themselves a Gold Fury to answer back the one Torch took a little while ago. Find themselves in the gold lead, a small experience lead as well. It's been a slower paced game. Both these teams are kind of still just feeling each other out a little bit, but Resist Gaming, if they look to start turning on the pressure, they could definitely start to really gain control of this match. Yeah,
this one by no means is anyone's control right now. That's That's something that's going to be decided over a pick and into a Fire Giant, a pick into the next Gold Fury, because we've seen a Gold Fury go each way. Resist Gaming initiated that first one as well, and you mentioned it. That looking on the water, this burst hog combo is so strong.
Yep.
Crazy Toaster, I'm going to be interested to see what he does on this right-hand side of the map, because if he can bait Marauder over here, Marauder's got not really much of a way to stop him from getting over there, and he's just got to sprint over there himself.
Indeed. So, like Soul Lane, they're fighting, and they're doing that again. Whatever. I'm not even gonna look at it. Valentine trying to lock some people down. Thor trying to keep Keeper of the Rice safe. Keeper of the Rice with that outwash is going to be a big factor as the game continues going on right now. He's going to keep scaling it up later into the game.
Actually, this could be a kill on the right-hand side. Marauder's beating on him. Oh, Crazy Toaster's just going to get out. Can he find it? He's looking to charge down. Crazy Toaster's so low. Another Fearless is at least going to get him out of range. The Umbrella Ring not quite going to land. He's one in-hand away. Sprint was activated. I'm not sure if
Arm Umbrella in 2, 1. Oh, actually, the Power Cube going to buy enough time. Mid lane, a fight going on as well right now. Prodigy forced into that lurking in the water. Shackles are fly, going to do some damage. Here comes Apollo across the skies. Marauder does find the kill on the Crazy Toaster, but Scream finds Fury on the mid lane as the fight does continue. They don't want to run into that field of ghosties.
Uh-oh, down goes Circle Protection, so that's not going to be used for burst, it's used purely for healing. Look at the burst damage and the combo. Gonna find True Blade. They're looking for Keeper of the Rights, they've got him chained up as well. Scream's going to slam down, looking for stuns. Hudat's so low, but he's going to manage to pop back and a tick damage to clean up Keeper of the Rights. He lives, he outplays Scream, and he gets a kill in the process.
Chaos, good Spirit Ball, keeping Valentine alive. He's hanging the tower up right now, he's going to need one more, but survive it anyway. Prodigy now dealing with a full wave of minions, really can't look to chase down those kills. Hudat and Valentine barely surviving that fight. Soul Lane, however, there is a big baby, or a little baby at the moment, looking to push that wave to the tower. It's going to take some damage and push it back. See those pings coming out just in case. They're trying to rush that one down right now. They need to get vision on that and make sure this gaming cannot sneak themselves in a Fire Giant, because that would really get that snowball rolling quickly.
Resist Gaming don't have a huge amount of potential to do the Fire Giant right now because Fierno is dead. Like, if Fierno was alive, yeah, they would be there. That would be gone by the time Prodigy Pump would have showed up, but they had no real potential for sustained damage until, obviously, Fierno shows up, and it's so risky with no sustain, really, online for them. That's the problem. Circle Projections was down.
It's still something you want to make sure. Yeah, there's probably really no threat because Fierno was down, but if they never bothered to check and they were doing it, it didn't matter if the Hunter was there or not, because they would have slowly brought it down anyway. So just making sure they have vision of that going forward. It was just counter-warded. This is going to be rough right now. Torch need to start to put a stop to Resist Gaming and stop them from running away with this game. But there's Valentine, 3-man, no escape. Will he find a pull on this one? Yes, he will. That's Keeper of the Rice as well. The crowd control chain dropped down. He will fall almost immediately. Turning the Prodigy, his health bar dropping quickly as well.
Scream's gonna slam down and at least lock up Valentine, but Marauder's in the backline. He's just causing chaos, and that's what you expect from the Vamana. Can they find Scream? Yeah, they do. They turn back around. Crazy Toast is tanky, but he will be the next focus. Marauder is taking that tower. Won't live through that one, unfortunately. Phoenix does just too much damage. Lawbringer out is gonna get them out of there alive, but left-hand side, Fierno is gonna pick up a tower, and now he's gonna turn for a Cupid as well.
Yeah, True Blade passive from the Assy just activated. It's gonna give him a decent bit of health back up, sitting about 50% health, but the rotation coming in, gonna force him back out. They could definitely look for this tier 2 tower right now as we see him waiting behind that wall. They have to at least suspect they're sitting there, and now they have vision of him as well. So we'll see if they look to tank this up and take this down. It's a 1,500 gold pickup if they can get it. Backdoor protection to Rocket is going to take a little while.
Oh, Spirit Ball landed. True Blade's in trouble. He's chained up. He did have the beads active at least to try and get him away from Valentine. Searing Flash! Yes!
He's good.
Valentine! He's got Cupid. He's got Cupid on the mind. He's going to kill him off too, and they're going to get the left-hand side tower. Resist Gaming starting to take those steps to victory. They're on the stairway to heaven.
Yeah, Valentine will survive and actually be able to escape this one, so that was a nice play by coming out from Resist Gaming. More gold. Look what's about to come up as well in just about 10 seconds. Steal away the attack speed buff. Head over to that gold field. Get another 1,500 gold on the way back out. Look at that golden hand. That's a tier 2, 2 tiers of an item that they can pick up back at base. So they're going to make use of that one. Torch Gaming, you know, they haven't been playing this one badly. The problem has really been Keeper of the Rice on that outwash. It's a tough god to play because of the mobility issues that come out, just the way the god works. And a couple times when the big fights are about to break out, he's unfortunately been the one getting focused and picked off.
I'd really like to see a blink. I think if you're gonna play Alpoash, you gotta have a blink. It's just, he's so risky, but the way that works out is that you force yourself out of an Aegis as well. In this scenario, he's opted for a Heavenly Agility, so he doesn't have an Aegis anyway. I just think blink is so much better of a pickup than Heavenly Agility.
It's a rough call as well, just because you have, you know, between Vamana as well as Bastet and Bellantine with the slows coming in all over the place. You want to make sure that, if you use your 1, use your 2, you have no more damage coming out for a couple seconds. Oh, you're going to go ahead and empty the crypts. Well, guess what? I have slows. I don't care that you're throwing this damage up, so I'm going to burst you down before you have a chance to actually do anything to me personally. At the same time, like you said, he's not able to stay alive. He's getting caught out in these fights, so Heavenly Agility, he can pop it. It benefits his team. It benefits himself briefly, but when you're not able to stay alive and actually continue the fight going forward, you're dead, you do no damage. Basically what it comes down to.
Dead, you do no damage? That's it in a nutshell, and he's been dead way too many times. They're looking to hop on towards him once again. And Whodat just says, you haven't got a blink, you haven't got a life right now. True Blade, he's gonna get eaten pretty chunked up by those cats as well, so he's not in the happiest of situations in this fight. It's probably just about to break out. Oh,
no one saw that. No one
he
saw
missed
that.
his ultimate, but Crazy Toaster.
No one saw anything. Crazy Toaster, like you said, taking a little bit of poking damage from that area. He's kind of making amends for that thing we didn't actually see. But Fearno with that Apollo is just constantly over on the left-hand side. Thor is up in the air, going to look for this lockdown. We'll see if Fearno can manage to dodge out. This one going to hit dead on center on that. But Serenade, yeah, Serenade.
Maz and run away.
Exactly.
If you want to run away, if you don't want to fight, otherwise turn. That just gives your opponent some outplay potential, though. At least give yourself some space.
Crazy Toaster in the middle of the thick of things right now, trying to do what he can as Whodat goes forward. The bleeds all applied over onto that poor little Cupid as the final 2-2 tower will fall.
Crazy Toaster, though, he's in a world of trouble. They might be able to find him. Valentine with the Searing Flesh. They're still looking for more, but they ain't got no chain CC. Get it? Chain CC?
Yeah. There's an Ares and he has chains. I get it. Occasionally I get things. Not the math, but occasionally other things. Scream finds the kill on the Whodat. Nice little pick. Man,
nice
very much needed kill for those. There's some more chains coming on now. Let's see if they find this pull. Does find both of them. Keeper of the Rise and Prodigy pulled on in. Prodigy falls quickly. Keeper of the Rise able to run away to safety. Heavenly Agility Pop does not want to tangle with that big baby right now. They're looking for this Phoenix. They have minions approaching as well. Marauder. Yeah, the ultimates are down pretty much across the board. Fearno still has the Across the Skies. They got
should
the kills.
Be a fire giant.
Yeah,
this really should be a fire giant.
Yeah, they're looking for the Phoenix. This isn't necessarily the worst call. If they get it, this will be an okay call. They could also be on the fire giant. Fields of Love drop down. True Blade staying alive for the moment.
Or is he? Because he's got 3 chains sitting on top of him and the Searing Flesh. Forced to use the beads and the flutter. So he's got no beads, no flutter for a little while if he does come back in.
Tier 2, or rather Phoenix, surviving for the time being. Fearno finally looking to focus one down. It will fall after all. If they didn't find that, that would have been a really bad call coming out from them. They would have basically wasted that the couple kills they had found initially. They're going to head off into the jungle. They have vision basically through this entire side. They'll know, Fearno, don't go for those RB. That's a charge way back onto. They might force these Across the Skies out of this one as Chaos kind of stands nearby. Spirit Ball to zone out. Fearno will get out in the end. And yeah,
well, his name says exactly what he was right there. Fear no, fear nothing.
Yep.
It's ballsy play for the Harpies. Harpies are worth going ballsy for. I like going ballsy plays for the Harpies.
What is it? 70 gold? I don't know. 27-minute mark. I don't know about the whole 70 gold off back Harpies. What is he sitting? 3, 2, and 7. It'd be like 350, 400 gold shut down if they got that kill. So probably not worth it in a trade back and forth. Nevertheless, Resist Gaming still in control of this game by a decent margin. 11,000 gold lead. They're looking to lock some of these guys down and find some more kills. They've been doing a good job at it so far. I just like to see them going for these objectives once they find those kills.
Crazy Toaster, he's going to get chained up once again. Will at least dodge the second set of chains. But Marauder, he wants some kills, and he might be able to find them. Scream though.
It's a 2v4. Reinforcements on the way. Empty Crypts dropped on down. They're going to be, for the most part, able to get out of that one. As the big baby comes out, they're going to look for the re-engage. Here's Fearno Weevil from across the sky is looking to join up the fight. You're going to zone some guys out and chase them down, but the fight has more or less been disengaged by both sides.
Ultimate's burned there. Keeper of the Rice has burned his. Scream will at least still have his on line. Marauder, though, he's got no big baby for another 80 seconds. That's huge. He's not really able to chase down. But then again, it's Empty the Crypt's gone, and he was still able to put a fair amount of pressure down, but Thor's coming to the skies. This is going to be a fight.
Ever's turn for the fight. Fields of Love drop down. Not going to affect anybody on that one. True Blade in the back. Zoned out and about to die to the Ares pull. Doesn't even need the pull. There's the damage is good. Bellantine finds the double kill as well. Looking to lock down and kill off Crazy Toaster as well. Can he find it for the triple over the wall? Crazy Toaster finds Chaos as Whodat looks to give chase. Whodat does find Crazy Toaster. It is going to be a 3-for-1 as they turn their attention once again back towards that Fire Giant. but someone's still nearby. Lurking in the water is not going to be available. All he has to do is just get in range. See Bellantine kind of looking for it and waiting for it. There it is, going to lock them down a little bit too early. All they do is stop damage, focus them down, and turn attention back towards it.
And the Titan under attack from minions in the mid lane. In the meantime, Prodigy Pond is going to find one off the back of that Fire Giant. It is going to be Marauder. Dropped incredibly low, but Resist Gaming going to take a 4-man Fire Giant. Oh, sorry, 3-man Fire Giant. They lost Chaos as well. It's not going to get that one. So, 3-man Fire Giant, that's not too bad, especially because Prodigy Pond did at least get a kill. That Fire Giant was going down regardless. He at least got a kill out of the back of that. And Marauder not getting a Fire Giant, that's the only other person you wouldn't want that to have on is Fierno, but Marauder, you'll take Marauder any day of the week.
Unfortunately, at the time, Torch didn't actually have vision of it, so it was a blind steal attempt coming in from Prodigy. Resist Gaming full aware of the fact that he was most likely sitting nearby looking for the opportunity to come in and steal it. And you stop DPS at 35% or so we can't burst it down. Just wait for him to inevitably come in. We'll turn attention to him, kill him, and then go ahead and just take the Fire Giant on the back of it. It wasn't for free. He did get Marauder, like he said, but Resist Gaming played that one well nevertheless.
Yeah, and they were comfortable letting Marauder get to that point. I mean, from the side of Resist Gaming as well, they balanced the Fire Giant, they balanced Marauder's health. Why did they let Marauder die there? Wow.
Scream, Circle Protection for damage, Beads preemptively to avoid the Spirit Ball damage, but the damage just coming out overall was more than Scream could at that point handle. So Chaos will find that peg. It's a long respawn as well, 40 seconds left on that one. Mid Phoenix is about to respawn. I wouldn't be surprised to see the group up. Vamana's going to go get that mana buff, just keep his mana bar as full as possible. But the group up, push that mid lane Phoenix down once again, go left, take that one down. It's all about starting those sieges and getting the game. They're looking to start close out the game here.
Yeah, they've got Fire Giant. It did have that middle Phoenix down to put a little bit of pressure on towards that time, and so they're going to come back and at least just take that one for free. Next up, they're going to probably roam left. It's the wave pushing in their favor. So that'll probably be the next focus. Marauder, they're pushing on the right lane. They're comfortable with that. They've cleared out the damage causing creep. If you ever want to shove a wave slowly, clear out the archer minions. Why? The tank, the other 3 minions don't do, the melee minions, they don't do as much damage. So your wave won't die, and 2 waves will collapse onto those 3 tank minions because they'll survive longer. Your wave will slowly build up, and it'll get on towards a Tower of Phoenix, whatever you really want. And there'll be a lot of minions when it gets there, and they will do a lot of damage. So if you ever do want to play that slow push strategy, that's how you set it up.
Exactly. Not quite the story right now. You see, there's a little bit of a build-up right here. It's actually going to be pushing towards the Resist Gaming side of the map, so not quite set up like you were talking about. But they won't necessarily need it. They can find a kill. Scream is back up and alive, so it will be a full-on 5-man defense. They want to make it here. And with not much standing on the map, it's either the Titan or the Phoenixes. They have to make the decision here sooner rather than later, and it looks like it's going to be the Phoenix.
Well, Circle Protections is going to go down to at least defensively control the zone, empty the crypts. It's a really nice ultimate to use underneath defensively on that Phoenix, but no escape. It's on a multiple members. Prodigy Pump was forced to use CC immunity to get out of that. Whodad is so low but lives through it. Fierno is going to live as well, and they're at least going to wipe out Crazy Toaster. That's the major tanky member gone, and Resist Gaming are going to grab a Phoenix in the left lane, Phoenix in the middle lane, and Crazy Toaster just all for their cause.
That was probably the best Fields of Love you could possibly ask for in that engagement. It basically just sent Resist Gaming back away from that fight. It caught a number of people. It's a lot of damage. I'm sorry, just smacked the microphone, guys. I apologize for that. The Fields of Love, the damage it does is a lot. It's 700 base damage, I believe. I'm going to double check that real quick. 540 plus 100 physical, so it probably hit for about 700 before protections coming in. That's a lot of damage across a number of people. The cripple, the slow, all those things coming out from it, it's a lot. If Crazy Toaster had not fallen, they would have been chasing that fight down and possibly found some kills in the back because the health bars on Resist Gaming were so low. So Torch Gaming, with that defense at the left side Phoenix, it did fall. They lost one of the members, but they kind of stopped things from going any worse than they were already. Fire Giant's going to be, the buff is going to be falling off in just a couple more seconds. Torch bought themselves time, but they need to find a teamfight victory and stop that Fire Giant from coming out. And they need to stop Fierno from split pushing, as every pretty much 1v1 in that duo lane has gone all game long. Fierno has had True Blade's number.
Yeah, it's not really looking all that good for Torch, you know? There's so many factors against them right now, so many Fire Giant buffs still up on the side of Resist. They're actually all just gonna fall off as soon as I mention that. As soon as I mention that, they all fall. Anyway, long story short, there is at least a teleport from Crazy Toaster. He's the only one that can put some pressure down on towards that left-hand side of the map and at least provide some resistance. But this all comes heavily back down to the draft from Resist Gaming. Look at the draft phase. Torch, first pick Thor. Alright, yeah, we're comfortable with that. Second pick, was Keeper of the Rice's Puch, and I think they grabbed Cupid at that stage as well. What comp are they building at this stage? They've got Thor for a slam down CC, they've got a really, really nice AoE from Puch, and they've got a really, really nice AoE coming through from the Cupid. What's the best response, Bam, when there's no support picked up? You know, there's still solo lane and support available. Odin. Why? Can't get out of it. Ring of Spears locks you perfectly down in. Resist Gaming banned that away, and that really restricted the comp from Torch.
Yep. That said, Keep of the Rice, top of the damage chart right now. No more middle of the pack for him. He's doing that damage. He's able to dish out a lot in the fight, assuming he's able to stay alive. If he avoids getting picked up, these fights are going to go quite differently than we've seen previously. The problem is, Fire Giant is well underway. It's about to fall to Resist Gaming the second time this game. And with that, there's only one Phoenix left standing. This Fireman is pushing down the other two lanes. The lanes are pushed out a good way, so they have some time to work with and play here. Resist Gaming can just wait it out, wait for those waves to push forward, and as soon as they get near those Phoenixes, engage that right Phoenix themselves.
That's all that's really left for them on the map at the moment. Middle Phoenix is at least going to respawn, so they're going to try and put pressure down. Mid lane Skill is going to have at least another wave of fire minions coming in, so they've got a lot to help for them, but down goes that Empty the Crypts, and they're looking to try and fire from the side of Torch, but they can't really do anything. Crazy Toast is already dead.
The Valentine got that quick kill in the backside. Prodigy very, very low, lurking the Warrior's Charge Prey defense to run away from that one. The right side Phoenix will fall. Mid is respawn, the pull comes in, Keeper of the Rice will get burst down quickly. Chaos finds like a scream, answering back a lot of damage in the middle of that pack, but Chaos finds the double himself.
Yeah, Finno's still alive. That's a problem. He's going to take one Phoenix shot. He's going to take two Phoenix shots, but it's not really going to matter. He's got life still. They're under the Titan. This middle Phoenix is going to fall to those fire minions that never really come out. Surrender Vote started up. True Blade snared. Locked in place thanks to Chaos. And what a huge game from Chaos. Look at that kill score from him. He went 10-3 and 13 and just was everywhere for the side of Resist Gaming.
Yeah, that was a rough one towards the end. Resist Gaming, a little bit of indecision coming out from those guys, but nevertheless, they were able to pull out victory. They got both those Fire Giant buffs and Fire Giant kills, and after that, we're able to just shred through those various objectives. So, definitely some stuff to take away for both these teams. We'll see exactly how they look to adapt going into their further games. We're going to cut to a quick little break, guys. We have another match set and ready to go. We'll be back with that one in just a few.